Interview and job search strategies at work. Welcome everybody to 2020. We hope everybody's having a great 2020 and excited to get back into the thing called work. Basically, everybody's working. Everybody's looking to earn extra money. I'm sure. Maybe you have a side income, or you have something that is trying to generate income for you in the future. Perhaps. Well, best of luck to you for that regard. Those other individuals, I'll tell you a story. Recently, there was a person who emailed me on Twitter, and if you want to send me a tweet, just go to twitter.com/Gary McNeely IT, and you can send me a message to Twitter. Anyway, in the message, it says, "Hey, I work at Walmart. Oddly enough, right? And I'm looking to break into IT. You know, I make $12 an hour now, and I'd like to earn more. I know it's tough. I know it takes a long time, but I still want to get into it." And so this is going to be a suggestion from myself to anybody, this individual, and really anybody who wants to get out of working at Walmart, Kmart, McDonald's, whatnot, and get into the IT field. So obviously there's a lot of barriers, right, in it. And even for me, by the way, it's a learning barrier. And you know, instead of trying to really tackle that hurdle of trying to learn something, get an instant job. And here's how you do that. You go to either Sitel, which is Sitel.com, or you go to Transcom.com. Either one of those sites pay you to actually work from home. So it's about $13 or $14 an hour, roughly. And what you do is you answer questions like, say, Cost Communications, which is an internet service provider, or what is Transcom? Transcom does Viasat, like the satellite dish internet people. So those two jobs provide. What's the benefit for that? If you get in there, when you first apply, right, you can Google the questions and answers, right? Because it's going to give you questions about, I don't know, 20, 30 questions, something like that, on what you should do with this Mac, how to troubleshoot Mac computers, how to troubleshoot Windows computers, basic router computer questions. If you know how to use an iPhone or a smartphone or a computer, just basic stuff, right, you should be fine. And if you know how to search, you should be fine, even better. And you can just Google your way to get the job, really. What they're looking for is they're looking for someone who is available all the time, who has a internet connection at their house, who has a desktop, and who doesn't have who has stable Wi-Fi or internet. Sorry. They also say something about having a dedicated phone line. So if you have a dedicated phone line, good. If you don't, you can just buy one or have it, added to your, ISP service for a fee. And what you're after is you're after getting the job, and you're after the 5 weeks of training is what they're going to give you. So it's basically you just sit around and you listen to people talk, and they give you these presentations, and you learn and you ask questions, right? And what you're after when you work there is you're after that credibility that comes with that job. So that job you can put in your resume. So now you have on your resume, now it says like Walmart. So you might have like your name, your phone number, your email address, objective. To obtain a job where my skills can be utilized to help the company's future, help the company overall profitability, something like that. And then you can put your first job, Walmart. Let's see, October 2018 to present, right? And then maybe above that, now you could put something like, let's see, customer support administrator, customer support technician. Let's say that customer support technician. Underneath that, you put like Sitel, which is the company name. Underneath that, you put like answered phone calls from customers about their bill, answered troubleshot technical questions with customers, right? And during the first 5 weeks of your training, it's just basically just watching. You watch and you learn, right? The whole time, your objective is to take notes. Maybe you can even start, taking some of the things they talk about, and then going home and learning it. Relearn things or enhancing the knowledge. Now, this strategy is a little different than self-teaching yourself, in that you have you're in a field already that are using this skill set or something like it, customer service, technology, basically, versus just learning it and you're working at Walmart. And it's so you can look at a higher goal, more money. You go from 13 to 15 or whatever you want to make an hour. Plus, you have a little, like I said, a name recognition, because you're on your resume. Now you have a company that does customer support. So what you do is while you're working, after 5 weeks, you start working. The day you start working, here's what you do. You put your resume out there and you start looking for jobs on Indeed.com, or go to Google and type in the word customer support technician, and then go on interviews. You're just trying to get an interview. One of the companies out there is going to like your skill set, going to like what you have, even if you don't have all the skills necessary on the resume. That's really it right there. They're going to see, okay, I understand that you don't know something, Active Directory, let's say. Okay, you don't know Active Directory, and you haven't got to the point yet where you're going to learn Active Directory. And instead of that, just say like something like, I don't know Active Directory yet. We do reset accounts where I work at Sitel. However, I'm willing to learn, and that's what you're going to say in your interview. That way, for those of you who don't want to learn, and it's a challenge to learn, I get it, 100%. I know 1,000% about that, and this will just help you out. Reason I say that is, working as a call center customer support technician person, right? You're basically just talking to people, and you're hearing of course, you're going to hear complaints from them, right? And you have to take it. That's your job. And you're just after credibility, really, so that your next employer can say, oh, we checked the box. We see that you've worked in this field before. Good to go. And, don't worry about not knowing. I know that's the biggest challenge of some people out there. I know that. It's like, I don't know, and what if they say I don't know? Or what if they say I'm not good enough? Or they ask me a question I don't know. Okay, say I don't know. And maybe they'll fire you. Who knows? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I highly doubt it, right, by the way, because you got to figure, if you make $15 an hour and you're on the low end of the totem pole, basically, as customer support, the likelihood of them firing is very low. They would only fire you if you had, if you are a bad worker, meaning you caused a problem at work. Maybe you cussed at work, or caused a disruption at work, or had an attitude at work. They definitely would not like that at all. No way. But, if you're just a nice, happy-go-lucky person, you're just trying to earn money and, just do my job, that's it, and then go home and learn if you want to. But if you're just there just to earn income and, hey, get along with people, good to go, right? They're okay with that. Even if you don't know. I don't know how many times I've been in meetings where there's a person that has a bigger title than whoever, and they don't know, and it's fine, and they're like, well, how are they qualified? Even if like 10 people say that this person's not qualified, the company's not going to fire that person. They hired them, right? If they're in the job, they're doing work, they're not going to fire them, right? And that person's been there how long, right? and that person's in a high-end job, let's say. And goes for the low-end job too. I mean, you're going to get that, right? You get into a new field, IT field, or customer support, you're going to have haters around there who are going to say, "Oh, you know, you're, you know how they go, like, oh, what do you know? What do you do? Like, it doesn't matter, whoop-de-doo." And I get it. It's very hard for people to take that, actually, and but you just got to remember, like, they're not paying your paycheck. They're not paying your paycheck. You are. You go home every day and you have to pay your mortgage or your rent or whatever, to pay your bills. They're not paying them for you. And the likelihood is that individual who's talking about that stuff, maybe they don't like their job anyway. And misery loves company. You just avoid those people. Just avoid them. Like, don't even hang around with them. That's going to be the biggest challenge you have coming from a non-IT background to IT, is that, oh, I don't know IT and I don't know customer service and all this other stuff, and overthinking like IT is all this there's a lot of stuff and technology and all this. It's not really. It's really not. Like 90% of it really is about connecting the dots. You guys remember when you were a kid, you connect the dots, you had a puzzle and you're like, okay, I can see this puzzle piece goes into this and then that puzzle piece goes over here. Okay. Let's say there's a map. Okay, I have the map and I have the picture of the map, and now I have to match the picture with the puzzle. Okay, that goes here, this goes there. That's really all it is. IT is not, people make it, people over hype it up, basically. You probably seen it on LinkedIn, right? Like people with like, a bunch of credentials behind their name or whatever, right? And yeah, okay, I get it, right? Hey, kudos to them for getting all that. That's awesome. I have some too. I'm gonna put them on there. Whoop-de-doo, right? Whoop-de-doo, big deal, It's just just like a degree, right? You guys go to college and you get a degree, and it doesn't matter what college you go to, you still have the same degree. Oh, you went to Yale. You went to Stanford. You got a computer science degree. Oh, you went to, Northwestern. You have a computer science degree. You went to wherever, computer science degree. It's the same degree. I mean, it holds more weight because of the college, but it's the same degree. And when you get to the job, they just care about what you know. And the same thing with IT, right? So, and that says actually a lot about if you when you go for an interview, right? And maybe you have credentials, maybe you have more IT credentials than the next person. And if you humble yourself and say, "Oh yeah, I have a couple of certs or whatever," right? And you don't put it on your, you don't. What am I saying? You don't announce it like it's this big thing. Announce it, but you let them ask you about your certifications if you get any. By the way, that actually holds a lot more weight because it's kind of a cat and mouse game, I guess. Sometimes where you're playing, you're just talking. You're not overselling yourself. You're letting them ask questions because now it's different conversations happen and all that. So, yeah, that's one of those things actually. So I'm getting off the point. The point of the whole this talk or this podcast, this particular episode is just me talking about you getting an entry level job. Hey, you work at Walmart. How do I get into the IT field? You might ask. Funny you should ask that. So I think I've answered, just to recap, answering that question is get a customer service job. I mean, I say Sitel and Transcom because they're on the internet. They're like web, and you have to live in certain states, right, to get a job. But their customer support, their work from home completely, right, and they have a high turnover as well. So let's say you take a bus to work. Let's just say somebody takes a bus to work, and if you work from home, you don't have to take a bus to work. The bus pass, maybe it's $20 a month or whatever it is. You can take that money, and now you can afford to buy internet with it. You can pay for internet service at your house with that that extra money that you save by not traveling. If you have children and you work at Walmart, now you can be home for your kids because you work from home completely, right? And yeah, I mean, it is going to be, they're going to tell you like, you should not have a loud place or a loud environment, but that's for 5 weeks of training. And you can kind of figure it out because by the time 5 weeks come around, you're going to have like 2 paychecks. So you're going to have some money to take care of maybe the sound problem, maybe better microphone, or headset, than already you're going to have. So just to recap, you work at Walmart, 2 jobs to have, or 2 jobs to get into if you want to get into the IT field. The jump from Walmart to IT without spending a lot of time learning. Actually, right? It's just these 2 companies: it's Sitel, Sitel, and then Transcom, Transcom.com. Those are 2 great websites to get work from home jobs, to get your foot in the door, free 5 weeks of training. So yeah. Okay. So thank everybody for viewing this Listens podcast. And if you have any questions, you want to send me a question, twitter.com/GaryMcNeilIT. Just message me there, and have a great day.